You like an animal with a key. You don't like everyone. That is why I choose you. You're the one who can make me happy. You know you now when you come for to see. Because without you see everything I do, baby. You know that it's all for you. You know when you come for to see. Because
Please inform others, pakishare sa iba yung ating link so we can start early. Yes, good morning everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning sa 10 online, 10 students online.
Like an animal with a key, you don't like everyone. That is why I choose you. You're the one who can make me happy. You know when you come for to see. Because without you see that. You like an animal with a key. You don't like everyone. That is why I choose you. You're the one who can make me happy. You know when you come for to see. Because without you see that.
Yes, good morning. Please include the section.
I do, baby. You know that it's all for you. You know when you come for to see. Because without you see that.
You change lighting. Unlighted. It's quite dark here. Please inform others. We will wait others. We will wait them for 5 minutes. Okay? We'll start. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Yes, good morning.
You like an animal with a key. You don't like everyone. That is why I choose you. You're the one who get me happy. You know now when you come for the sea, because we are the sea that better. 'You like lonely man. Without me, you're not like everyone. That is why I choose you. You're the one who can make me happy. You know now when you come for the sea, because we are the sea that better.
3 minutes we will start. In 3 minutes we will start. In 3 minutes we will start. Yes, thank you so much.
You know that it's all for you. You know when you come for the sea, because we are the sea. Like honey man, without me, you're not like everyone. That is why I choose you. You're the one who can make me happy. You know when you come for the sea, because we are the sea that better.
Alright, so I guess we will start so we can end up early. So, good morning, everybody. How's your day? I hope everybody is getting well today, and I hope you enjoy your weekend and don't stress yourself with the requirements we had. So, clarification. Now, I guess there are also students who have this kind of clarification wherein kasi may nagtanong sa akin, what if daw hindi umabot sa 14 yung grupo? Is it still okay? Yes. Is it still okay? No need nyo ubusin ang 14 na groups or members kung hindi makaya. As long as, ito, for example, sa isang group is 7 lang kayo. So that means, each member is gagawa ng dalawang kartilya. Okay? Gagawa ng dalawang kartilya each member. So yun ang mangyayari. But since, if just in case na kumpleto naman kayo, there's no problem. But for those who have incomplete members in your team, you can have it. Even ilan na kayo sa grupo nyo, just divide the 14 cartilia, okay? Kasi we cannot force you to grow up into 14 or to have 14 members kung di makaya. So yun, no? Is it okay, everybody? Okay na ba? Kasi may nagtanong sa akin, sir, we can complete our team. Therefore, just do it in your team na lang. Okay? Ayan. So, I guess everybody is ready for our lesson today. Are you all ready? Then guys, don't ever forget to support my vlog. I sent the link on our group chat. Baka naman, pa-share, pa-mention ng friends nyo, and pa-react ng wow. Wow lang yung react. Ha? Support din pag may time. I will send the link. I already sent the link. Yung sa page ng Sultan ko na lang. Support na lang. Ha? Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you Luzado. Pa-share. Pa-share Luzado ha. Pa-share. Pa-share ng vlog. Okay, thank you. Yes, Althea Kalium. Sir, pwede Tagalog? Yes, pwede. Pwede Tagalog yung output. Okay? Pwede English, pwede Tagalog, pwede mix. Pwede na kayo gumamit ng local dialect nyo as long as meron kayong translation sa baba. Dapat may translation sa baba. Kung gusto nyo mag-Ilocano, mag-Ilonggo, or anumang dialekto, it's okay. But there is a translation below, Tagalog or English. But you can have it Tagalog-English or Tagalog or English. Again ha, please support my vlog, my entry mo. Parang awa nyo na. Just kidding. Alright. So I guess no more queries. Share screen na tayo. So we can start early kasi busy. Alright, finally, we are now on the continuation of our discussion under chapter 2. So in this, previously we discussed about the analysis on the Proclamation of Independence Day done with Emilio Aguinaldo on June 12. So we all know all of those things, and we also discussed about certain things that something to do with cartilla, and we partially discussed the 14 code of or the codes or the code of conducts stipulated in cartilla. But we will no longer discuss that one kasi yun ang gagawin nyo in our activity. So I will just have some inputs na lang right after your presentation. So kunting kuhan muna tayo, kunting throwback. So yeah, no, we discuss about all right. So we discussed about the analysis of Gafeta, that it is considered as the most cited document, credible source. We also discussed about KKK and Cartilla ng Katipunan, and this is actually one of the important part of the discussion we had. So, yeah. We also discussed about the three or the two visions of KKK. So, yeah. Yeah, we discussed what is cartilla. This is the most important document of Katipunan. That's cartilla actually. So April 15. Ayan. So as commander. And we ended up with this activity, with this interesting activity. And you know what? I'm so excited. Anyway, it's just 1 to 2 minutes lang naman. Don't stress yourself with the activity. See to it that every activity we had, may enjoy kayo, no? But i-enjoy nyo lang. That's why if you observe, no, most of my activities, it's not actually about written. Kasi alam ko, stressful yung written activity. That's why we are more on psychomotor activity. Kasi mas maganda yung more on activity tayo under psychomotor. So there will be most creative group, most cooperative group, most intelligent group, and we have most disciplined group as we go along with this discussion. Wait lang ha. Mag-pan muna ako. Switch account muna ako so I can see your responses. All right, so we're in here. So yan, we have this 14 code of conduct under the Cartilla. Also discuss about Philippine Declaration of Independence. What happened during the Declaration of Independence Day. And anyway, I already sent you the copy of this, no? So finally, we are now on the analysis of political caricature during American period. But before we start, we have this preliminary activity. Of course, in every discussion we had, we should have this preliminary discussion to open up your mind about the discussion that we are going to discuss later on. So analysis of the political caricature. Okay, this is it. The activity is titled as Flex Me. I know you are aware of this flex. Flexing means you're trying to feature something, you're trying to describe something. Now, explain the following caricature or photo. Send your answer in our GC for outputs. So, ang gagawin natin is pwede nyo i-send mamaya na lang after. So, wag nyo na paabutin bukas but only today. I'm going to show you some caricature photos or cartoonists which is assigned in every group. Bawat isang section, may sarili kayong caricature na i-explain. Then, you're going to explain that at least one paragraph composed of 3 sentences or 4 sentences. Then, isa-send nyo sa group chat natin for output mamaya. Ha? Mamaya. So, this is it. So, pwede yung picturean nyo yung output or yung caricature na explain nyo so that this is something like picture analysis. You're going to analyze the caricature or the photos that you're going to see on the screen. And these photos actually, they have something to do with our lesson today. Okay, are you ready? Now, BS Cream 1A, this is your caricature, okay? Take some picture. Take some picture, caricature. Section A, Section A. Section A, kindly take picture. I'll give you 1 minute to take picture. And you're going to explain what is the meaning of this caricature in your own ideas, in your own understanding. It's up to you, no? In here, I'm going to, we're going to consider everyone's views since, we have these different perspectives. So, kahit ano, how you interpret it, paano nyo i-explain yung caricature. Okay na ba? Section A? Pag-share na lang sa iba ha pag-kwan. Section A and okay na ba? Na-picturean na screenshot? Picturean ko na lang. Okay, next. Next caricature. Oh, this is it. 1B. BS Cream 1B, kindly take picture. Kindly take picture 1B. I will give you 1 minute. So, ibig sabihin, every section, may kanya-kanya kayong picture para iba-iba yung idea natin so that you cannot compare with other section. So, this is under our differentiated instruction. Okay, section B, kindly share to others na lang just in case they are not online. But anyway, they could still watch this. Okay na ba 1B? Nakapicture na 1B. 1B, any representative from 1B. Then i-share nyo lang sa GC nyo mamaya. Again, you're going to explain the meaning of every picture. Okay, next. 1C. BS Criminology 1C. Kindly take some picture and you're going to explain what is the meaning of this caricature. Okay. 1C. Kindly explain the meaning of this caricature. 1C, 1D. Okay. Okay na ba 1C? Okay, 1C. We're done with 1C. Now for 1D. 1D, kindly take some picture. And I hope you can explain this, this caricature. Okay, so 1D na tayo. 1D. So this will serve as your recitation na lang ha, pero maya yun na-send. It's up to you. Wag lang one sentence, so dapat medyo habain natin yung explanation. Konti. At least one paragraph will do. Okay? We're going to explain the picture. 1D, 1D, take some picture, 1D. 1D. Are you done, 1D? Best Cream 1D. Kindly share to your classmates na lang ha, para hindi tayo tagalan. Okay, 1D. Next, 1E. What is the meaning of this picture? 1E. 1E. Kindly take, capture this one. I-picturean nyo so that you can explain later. So in here, you're going to use your higher order thinking skills. You know what? In learning, dapat we are also thinking creatively. We are thinking critically. We should know how to answer questions in HOTS, no, or the higher order thinking skills. And it has something to do with analysis. Okay, 1F. 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 Okay. Ba't yung lapi natin? 1F. 1F. Calling 1F. Okay, next is, okay. 1F. Mag-F lang pala tayo. 1F. And then take pictures so we can proceed now. All right, we're done. Okay, so that's for 1F. Now, what is caricature, by the way? What is caricature? So caricature is a picture description of imitation of a person in which certain striking characteristics are exaggerated in order to create a comic or ridiculous effect. So caricature has something to do with cartoonists, editorial cartoonists. Who among you here are member of publication or school paper before? So caricature is something like editorial. These are pictures that have meaning. Pwedeng, they actually exaggerate. They exaggerate the picture to create meaning or create a comic or ridiculous effect. Pwedeng about, it's more about societal issue, about the politics, about pork barrel. No, ang daming picture that has meaning. No, the picture itself has meaning. And it can be insulting or complimentary and can serve a political purpose or be drawn solely for entertainment. So, pwedeng i-insult, pwedeng patama, di ba? Most of the time, it's about patama. May mga pinapatamaan na member ng gobyerno or some projects na, mga project na hindi successful. So, mga kapalpakan ng gobyerno. This is actually the purpose why there is a caricature. May mga patama-tama. And we have here caricature for politician. Yan, tinawag kong editorial cartoon. So usually sa mga school paper natin, it is being placed on the first part of your paper. Editor, for example, there is a hottest issue like about education, about Duterte, the governance of Duterte. They actually create caricature to exaggerate something and to create some meaning out of it. Parang patama, no? Satirical. And caricature for movie stars, so yan. It's sometimes called as the magazines, di ba? Sa mga magazines. Now, political caricature during American era. So Philippine cartoons, political caricature of the American era from 1900 to 1941. So A political cartoon, a type of editorial cartoon, it is a graphic with caricatures or public figure expressing the artist's opinion. As what I've said earlier, the purpose of the artist in having caricature is to express his opinion. For example, ikaw, isa kang author, isa kang artist, then you cannot express your feeling through words. Hindi mo ma-express yung feeling mo through words. So yung ginagawa mo is, or yung gagawin mo is, you're going to put it into a caricature and patama-tama. No? And gain full expression during the American era. So caricature actually it spread, or it is commonly used. It was commonly used during the American era. No, Filipino artists recorded national attitude towards the coming of the American. So the observation of some Filipino artists, they drew it, the feelings about the American with their governance, or maybe kung may nagtulong man ang mga American, or may ginawa silang against the will of Filipino. So they actually draw it, and that's their way of showing their emotion or expressing themselves. Now, political caricature from the vantage point of half century and more, this political cartoons are evocative record of half forgotten history. So it's about evocative record of half forgotten history. And also the use of caricature is to bring back the history in the present. So through caricature, this artist can remind us with what happened in the past, kung ano nangyari in the past, so we can understand it through the use of or interpreting some caricature. So now you know what is caricature. Are you still there? Are you still there? Okay lang ba yung boses? Can you hear me clearly? Is our presentation visible to you? Say yes. Maya nyo na gagawin yung activity ha, maya na. Just focus first on our discussion and do the activity afterwards. Okay, may nag-yes. Okay, very good, Perseus. Now let's move on. Now we have here this first caricature. Ayan. What have you observed in the caricature? Anong mga nakita niyong object or mga symbolism? Anyone? You can comment your answer on the comment box. What can you see? What objects or what are the objects you can see on this caricature? Maybe you can see some crown, poverty. Oh yes, maybe because there is somebody begging. There's someone here begging. Ito baka ito yung sinasabi niya na poverty. Blurred ko sa signal. Okay, I'm going to send it to you later. Crown, yes. The most symbolic object here is the crown. And this one, he's holding something. I don't know if it is lamp. Then here it is. So alam naman natin kapag nakasalakot, this is considered as Juan de la Cruz. This is Juan de la Cruz, no? This Juan de la Cruz represents the entire Filipino. We all know that Juan de la Cruz is the representation of Filipino. At least may nakita kayong crown. Now, what is this caricature all about? Yes, maybe a farmer. Ito siguro nakakap, no? Farmer. But this is actually Juan de la Cruz, no? Itong ginamit nyo na farmer, this is Juan de la Cruz. Yan. This is Juan de la Cruz. He represents the entire Filipino. Now, what's the meaning of this caricature? It is about a public post is not a hereditary crown. The cartoon shows a politician from Tondo named Dr. Santos passing his crown to brother-in-law in Dr. Barcelona. A guy was trying to stop Santos, telling the latter to stop giving Barcelona the crown because it is not his to begin with. So out from this picture, what idea can be drawn? Out from this picture, how can you explain this picture? Anyone who can explain? It's about what? Someone is trying to get the crown because this Dr. Santos, he wants to pass the crown to his brother-in-law, who is Dr. Barcelona. It's about, yes, it's about power. That's true. Fighting for the crown. What else? Authority. Yes, that's true. Pursuits about power. But how do they manage power? Ano yung crown means power. Yes, that's power. But what is the entire meaning of the picture? Since Santos is trying to pass this in his in-law, but someone, Juan de la Cruz and this one, trying to get the crown. Yes, it's power. Actually, some more idea. They use the church to manipulate power. Mm-hmm. It's doctor actually. He's not a priest. He's a doctor. Yes, he is the doctor. But anyway, thanks for the idea. Fighting for the crown. Crown means power. Some more idea. I want exact answer. Clue. It has something to do with politics. Clue. May kinalaman ito sa politika. And this is actually happening in our province. I don't think. I mean, in Mindanao, they want the crown to lead. I want exact answer. Ruler. What is the entire meaning of this caricature? Yes, it's about politics. Yes. So what's about politics? That's true. Person have a power. They want the power to control them. It's about giving. Yes, very good. Very good, Alessa Miagar. It's political dynasty. Very well said. Okay, yes, Perseus also got the answer. Being biased, yes, maybe. But the exact answer is political dynasty. Let's give virtual clap to Alessa Miagar. It's about political dynasty because Dr. Santos he wants to pass the crown. Means since crown represents position or power, he wants that the position will be taken by his in-law who is Dr. Barcelona. And that's actually happening in the times of American. Yun yung mga pangyari sa panahon ng American. Yes, passing the term to his brother. Yes, it's political dynasty. Okay, very good. In your own idea, is political dynasty still present today? Nangyayari pa ba ang political dynasty sa ating bansa? Yes, allow the legacy of politics. Yes, legacy, that's still political dynasty. Since they believe in legacy, therefore, they actually violate the rule of political dynasty. Yes, that's true. Baka sa barangay nyo, no? Yung kapitan, tatay niya, yung asawa niya, sekretary, yung anak niya, SK chairman. May ganun? That's actually the concrete example of dynasty. Yes, I hope everybody knows what dynasty is all about. Okay, yes. So I guess everybody agrees that political dynasty is still present in our country up to this day. And I amend on that. Okay, I affirm on that. Okay, next, caricature. Oh, wag mo na tingnan yung explanation. What symbols, what objects, or what scenario, without looking on the description of this picture, ano yung nakita niyong mga pangyayari or object? Ano nangyari niyo nakita niyong object? What can you see on the picture? A clear illustration. What can you show a clear representation of the picture? Let's see, what can you see on this family? Was father getting mad at his son? Yes, maybe. Anyway, we respect everyone's idea here. No, we are not the monopoly of learning at all. Overuse of power of authority. Yes. Law is applied on everyone. Yes, maybe yes. Government power. Yes, overpower. Government power. Yes, you're almost correct. So let's see. So this picture represents war against speculator, yes, maybe. A child abuse, yes, maybe, on the picture. Anyway, this is a picture analysis, so you have your own idea. Now, this was drawn by Fernando Amorsolo, a Filipino child who stole a skinny chicken because he had nothing to eat. The police officer, excuse me, hello, good morning. Ay, ma'am, ma'am, pero napunta ako dyan mamaya ng 11. All right, now let's continue. The police officer was relentlessly pursuing the said child. A man wearing a salakot named Juan de la Cruz was grabbing the officer. As we all know, Juan de la Cruz represents the entire Filipino and telling him to leave the small-time pockets and thieves and turn at the great thieves instead. He was pointing to a huge warehouse containing bulks of rice, milk, and grocery products. So what does it mean? It's about what? Yes, that's true. Somebody answer here is about no bias. No, it's about bias. You know what? In the earlier times kasi, and I guess this is still present, yung picture, yung gustong i-interpret ng picture is that yung bata na kumuha ng skinny chicken is hinuhuli ng pulis. Why not hindi niya hulihin yung mga malalaking mga sindikato? That's actually, and I guess this scenario is still happening today. Do you agree with me? Do you agree with me na nangyari pa rin ito? Why not focus on the biggest problem of the society? Yes? Yes, that's true that it starts from a small, but as of today, since ang dami-dami ng mga kurap, ang dami-dami ng mga tao, mga sindikato, you know what, is kumbaga wala walang action yung government. I'm not talking in general, pero may ganun. Except ngayon sa panahon ni Duterte, no, I guess medyo nabago yung mga pananaw or yung mga senaryo na ganito na kung saan. Kasi dito papasok yung tip, yung bayad. It talks about money. Bakit huli ng police yung drug pusher or drug syndicate? Meron siyang nakukuha, di ba? So doon na lang sa maliit, at least they trying to divert the biggest issue into smaller one. They trying to divert the biggest issue para mawala yung Pilipino sa mga totoong pangyari o yung mga malalaking problema, the huge problem that is happening in the society. Yes, it's about bias. No? Okay. Do you agree with me? The father mad his son. Okay. So that's it, no? So Juan de la Cruz represents again the entire Filipino. He's trying to, pull the guy, grabbing the police officer, na dapat doon kayo sa mga malalaking warehouse na mayroong mga, illegal na mga transaction. Maybe they sell drugs. Than a child who grabbed a skinny pa talaga na chicken. Payat na chicken, no? Okay. This is actually happening, no? This is actually happening. Okay, continue next. This one, another picture. What can you see on the picture? A car? Mm-hmm. Yes, a car. Or this is, yes, a death. Yes, that's true, pursues, no? The one kamatayan represent death. Yes. No license, it's color room. Color room. Threat? Yes, no license. Ito yung mga illegal na mga sasakyan. The Philippines Free Press published this commentary when fatal accidents involving color room vehicles and taxis occurred often already. So ito yung nangyari, di ba? That's why pag walang hinuhuli yung mga walang license because it's color room, no? Walang plaka, di ba? That's color room. And sometimes, not just for a normal citizen, it actually happened with the government employees na kung saan ginagamit nila yung mga sasakyan. Yung mga official na sasakyan which is intended for some official business is ginagamit na ibang politiko in their family outing, di ba? That also represents color room, no? Although color room means no walang plaka, yung mga illegal, no license. But in some ways, color room in this picture, it also represents yung mga uh, pangyayari na kung saan ginagamit ng mga member of politicians in their personal interest, yung mga personal or yung mga official na mga sakyan ng gobyerno. Yes, illegal driving, not like that. Danger zone. Okay? So nangyari ito in the American era. Next picture. What can you see on the picture? Siguro na-miss nyo na ito, no? Everybody misses this. Everybody misses this. Misses this one, this scenario. What can you see on the scenario? Carnapping, yes. Anybody? This picture naman. Next picture na tayo. Next picture. Watching cinema, yes. Very self-explanatory. It's about a cinema. Now, a blown-up officer was at the screen saying that couple are not allowed to neck and make love in the theater. Two youngsters looked horrified while another couple seemed amused. So anong representation nito? Take note ha, this scenario happened in the time of America. In the time of American, when American colonized Filipino. Ito yung mga caricature na pinapakita ko. This is not under the Spaniard, okay? This is already under the governance or enlightenment of or the American regime na tayo, American regime. So anong pinapakita ng scenario na to? With the culture of American, with the culture of Filipino, or maybe a culture of American which adapted by most of Filipinos today. Most of Filipinos today, they actually adapted this scenario. It's interpreting life. Oh yes, yan. Roy Kilenter Sardoma, yes, it's rated SPG. Sexuality in the dark, yes, versus. Or in short, anong tawag dito? This is actually isang bagay na namana natin from American. It's being public display of affection. Yes, that's true. Curiosity, SPG. Okay, illegal. Exact answer. True to life story about KKK. KKK. Yes, taboo. Very good. It's being taboo or liberated. Yes, very good. Persus, Antoinette Bracamonte, pornography. Yes, maybe dating. Yes, this represent the being liberated. Kung saan, baga, di ba? They kiss somewhere. And this attitude is, this actually adapted from American. Ito yung nagiging katangian ng Pilipino na kung saan it's a sort of colonial mentality. Yes, it's being taboo, maniac. Yes, liberated. No? It's being liberated. Or it's taboo. Taboo siya sa atin. Okay. And this one. How about this one? How about this one? How about this one? Overuse of power of authority. Yes, slavery. Yes, very good. It's about and everybody agrees on this, no idolism or idolatry. Yes, it's about slavery. It's about slavery. That's true. Uncle Sam riding a chariot. Uncle Sam riding a chariot pulled by Filipinos wearing school uniform. The Filipino boys were carrying American objects like baseball bats, whiskey, and boxing gloves. So that's it. It's about slavery. Although, pero, right. Although, sa panahon ng Spaniard, may mga slavery din, pero it's quite worse. So at least dito naman, ang kaibahan na sa panahon ng mga American is somewhat medyo minimal yung naging slavery. Because American, they are more on education. They are more on education actually. Educating the mind of every Filipino. But there is still a slavery. Yes. Okay. Totally. Now, this, how about this picture? The last picture we had. What can you see on the picture? Okay, what can you see on the picture? What can you see on the picture? What can you see on the picture? There's somebody, a meeting, yes, a power, address, a leadership, yes, maybe, a leadership, a public speaking, yes, leadership, authority with other people, power, meeting, leader, political issue, leadership. So this is El Turno Los Partidos, was published by Lipang Calabao on August 24, 1907. Now, in the picture, we can see the Uncle Sam rationing. Typo error siguro yan, wait. You're gonna see on the group. It's porridge siya. So in the picture, we can see Uncle Sam rationing porridge to the politicians and members of the Progresista Party, or sometimes known as the Federalista Party, while members of the Nacionalista Party look on, wait for their turn. This cartoon depicts the patronage of the United States being coveted by politicians from either of the party. So ito yung nagiging katangian naman ng mga American during those days, being, being fair how to manage different parties. So ito naman yung naging, kumbaga, it's actually no bias, no? It's about no bias. This was happened during the time of American. Kumbaga, everybody takes at a time. So kapag ikaw nagsalita, right after the one, you'll be the one to speak. No, that's actually the attitude or characteristic of Philippine or American. Kung saan it's quite positive naman in our part, no? If you observe there, oh yeah, there is someone who is opening the meeting and others are waiting for their turn to be called. Okay, so moving on. So those are the caricatures of the day. Again, let's have some review natin. So we have here, yes, it's a public pause. It's not, it's about the dynasty. It's about war against speculator. Next, color room, cinema, and Uncle Sam riding a chariot, and El Torno Los Partidos. Okay, now we have this activity. Okay, you have this activity, but you're going to submit this next week na lang. Okay? So ito yung, you only have one activity lang. Only one activity lang yung gagawin nyo in this lesson. Alright, so number one, you have to draw your own caricature, cartoon depicting issues found in your, maybe in your community or municipality or province or region, national or international. Kumbaga, ngayon, it's your time naman to draw something in your mind or what have you observed? What have you observed in your community with regard to some problem, some issue. Excuse me. So yeah, no, you have to draw your own caricature. So be artistic, pwedeng with color. Pwede yung lagyan ng color or pwede yung pastel ang gamitin nyo or be creative. Be creative. Ano po gamitin na material? Okay, anong gamitin na material? It's up to you. Pwede yung mga, depende sa inyo anong gusto nyo para maging maganda yung caricature nyo. Caricature can be colored or black and white. As long as maganda yung meaning and the symbolism. The symbolism of every, every object in your drawing and how are you going to explain it. So below it, you have to write your interpretation. You have to write your interpretation about the caricature, di ba? It's quite interesting. Okay, picturean nyo before tayo mag-proceed sa ating clarification. This is individual. This is individual activity. Individual activity tayo. Individual activity ang ating caricature. This is individual activity. And I'm gonna send it in our GC. So, ibig sabihin, you're going to find a problem in your respective barangay, kung meron ba, kung wala, in your municipal, kung wala, province, region, national, or international, then you start with a problem. Mag-start kayo sa idea, anong idea na gusto mong i-draw. So after nun, nag-start ka na mag-draw kasi you have already the idea. And after you're done with your drawing, just put some interpretation. Kasi supposedly yan, kung sa face-to-face tayo, you're going to draw it and explain it here. But since we're using virtual and considering na medyo mahina yung internet connection natin, so yung mangyayari na lang is, just draw it and put your explanation below. Next week na lang, anytime next week. Friday next week. Yes, next week. Ano bang date sa Friday next week? Okay lang. Okay. So check ko sa kalendar ko para makita natin. Para makita nyo, magpunta ng kalendar. Calendar. Calendar, calendar. Calendar. So sa calendar natin. Our calendar, we're going to put it here. Calendar. Para magkuhan ako ng date. Diba maganda to, no? You can show your talent. Okay, 27. Very good. So deadline will be November 27. Sige, lagay ko dito na lang. Deadline. Pagandahan ito ha, pagandahan. Deadline, November 27, 2020. Okay. Or deadline is stickman. Oh, it's up to you. It's up to you, Persos. Depende yan sa pag-explain mo. If you cannot make it like cartoonist, or if you're not a cartoonist, and if you're not used to draw something, hindi kayo makakuha sa picture, wala kayong talent, in all means you can. As long as you can explain it, there's no problem with that. Kasi we cannot force you kung wala ka talagang talent in drawing. But try your very best. Matabang stick man. Okay. So take note, deadline is November 27. So we still have 2 minutes. Nangyari. Alright, so we're back here. So please be reminded of your activity. You're going to send it this Friday. Take note ha, you're going to submit your activity on Friday, yung group activity nyo with Perfilia. Pwede. O, sige, pwede. As long as makadrawing. Yung hindi makakaya ng cartoon, hindi makakaya ng caricature, in anything you can. Basta ma-explain nyo at saka presentable. Okay? Huwag natin pilitin pag hindi nyo makaya gumawa ng cartoon or caricature. Well, as long as you could able to explain what you draw, and there's nothing with that. There's no problem with that. Again, this is individual activity. Sobrang init, guys. This is individual activity. Individual. You're gonna do it individually. Okay? Individual yung paggawa niya ng caricature. Siguro mas maganda, you draw it in a bond paper, ha? Bond paper lang. Wag sa mga intermediate. Wag mo siya mag-guhit para maging clear. Make it presentable. Okay? Make it presentable. Take note that in everything you do, put passion, put interest. Your dedication should be on it. kahit gano'n kasimple yung isang bagay, basta maganda, makita ng teacher that you do your best and you make everything meaningful. So, gano'n yun. Para at least, hindi naman ako maghahayang na magbigay ng line of 9 na grade sa inyo. Di ba? Hindi naman ako masayangan na magbigay ng grade. Hindi na yun masama. If I can see that you have this passion in making every output of yours. So, dapat gano'n, no? Yes, pwede lagyan ng picture, pwede yung kwan lang, yung charcoal lang. It's up to you. Pwede lagyan ng picture, ay picture color. Dapat with feelings yung pag-drawing. Kasi dapat inspired, dapat mag-draw kasi gusto kong mataas yung grade ko. I want to impress her. Diba? Parang ganun. At least naman, at the end of the day, ganda naman yung gawa mo, hindi yung compliance lang because you are forced to do it. But you love what you do. Diba? That's it. And again ha, patulong naman students, yung mga hindi pa naka-mention ng friend, baka naman, yung hindi pa, very good si Persus, nakita ko si Persus, nagkuha na siya doon, nag-mention siya. Thank you Persus, Alfred Villarreal, very supportive talaga. Don't worry, when time comes, na may mga ganun din kayo, I will support you, don't worry. I'm just here to support. Wala itong kinalaman sa lesson natin ha, baka naman. Oh yes, yes Kudalat, I'm gonna send the caricature. I'm gonna send the caricature in our GC. What emotional? Huwag naman sobrang emotional. Baka iyak ka mabasa yung output mo, ablan. Again guys, pa-support doon sa i-post ko sa group chat natin yung about vlogging competition because napili kasi yung vlog ko. So, please share, mention your friends, watch, and react. Wow! Wow yung i-react. Pa-support. Support naman. Pag manalo ako, may libre sa akin yung total support talaga sa face-to-face na. I'm gonna send the link later ha, pa-support na lang. Pero pag busy kayo, okay lang naman. Baka naman. Again ha, reminder doon sa mga kulang ang grupo sa Cartilia, please, you can still do it. You can still do it by team, okay? By team. Okay, isasend ko lang ang picture. Isasend ko na lang. So, thank you for walang question. Yes, Pinto, pwede na mag-out. Again ha, please support my entry, my vlog entry. Isasend ko lang ulit sa GC nyo. Okay. So, I guess no more question. Again, I'm expecting for your support, just like what Persus did, okay? And see you next meeting. Goodbye and God bless everybody. Okay, for positive communication, we will meet at, what time is it? 10:55, 9:55. We'll meet at 9:55. Goodbye and God bless everybody.